Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the LTA show. I'm your host, Felix, and I've got a special guest, Steven. Steven, how are you?
I'm doing good, Felix. Glad to be on here.
Yeah, and we met through actually Trader Joe's, but we went to the same high school, and we had the same class. I think it was only one class, right?
Miss Mylans?
Yeah, English.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you started Trader Joe's, I want to say like last year of summer, or was
It,
it fall?
it was like the end of summer, so like August. It was August 1st because
Ah,
I remember that vividly because literally like when I was done with my job or with my other job, once I put in my like my 2 weeks was my last day, I came in the next day to work. So
wow. So August, so I'd say it's what, it's been almost what, four years after high school?
yeah.
Yeah, what have you been up to? Because I know you told me during work, but I mean, if you wanna, if you'd like to share that, like
Of
just what you've been up to.
of course. So, um, pretty much after high school, more or less what the school system and it felt like everyone's parents was telling every kid to do the second they graduate is to go to either community college or like university, or you better hope you have some sort of skill that gets you some high paying job right out of high school. Like I can't think of an example, like maybe like stocks or something, and you're
Yeah.
making six figures. So I just kind of went to community college. I just went to CSM. Um, I was going there for about 3 to 4 years, just taking my general education, and I technically was a major in psychology, and
Mm,
I enjoyed it at the time. But like the further I kept going on with school, the more I kind of just felt like I was bullshitting it, and I was kind of just going with the flow. I was kind of just following my friends because most of my friend group also went to CSM, so we were kind of just taking the same classes and
mm,
just being around each other. So I felt like that was the right thing for me, and I'm still glad I went to community college, and I even did one semester of SF State because I was able to
wow.
transfer. But when I did that, I was just tired of school, at least for at the moment,
Mm,
because I've never really been like the best student, just naturally. Um, I still kind of have those like poor poor like student skills. Like I'm not really good with my time. Times when I should be focusing, I want to do like anything else but focus on this because I'm not specifically interested in this. I'm bad
yeah.
at math, and it's just like all these things that I'm just all like I need some sort of break from school. And the whole deal I had with my mom was that if I'm not doing school full time, I have to work full time, and uh, I was completely fine with that because a lot of my friends were getting this job. Um, it was like a farmers market slash food donation program called Good Roots, and it was funded by Facebook.
Wow.
So yeah, it wasn't like a big thing. It was kind of just like probably some sort of tax write-off thing. But
Uh,
we had Facebook on our shirts, if that means anything. Um,
wow.
and so I did that for about maybe 6 months, I'd want to say.
Wow.
Um, but then at some point, the company we had two contracts, one for the food donation program and one for the farmers market we would have every Sunday. And the contract for the food donation program ended. So Facebook was like, "Nah, we're not gonna we're not gonna do this anymore. We're not like this doesn't mean anything to us because they're a fucking company and you know they lost a whole bunch of money after the whole meta name change and
Uh,
um, the metaverse, all that stuff. They lost a whole bunch of money off that. So they cut down our company, and we were only working 2 days a week, which was nothing. And mix of poor management and waking up early in the morning, and just not being too satisfied with the job anymore. I kept bugging One of my coworkers, Chris. Uh, also went to high school with him.
Yeah.
Because he's been working at Trader Joe's since high school, so I mean, obviously you know that, but um, and I just kept bugging him for a job, and then eventually, they were just all like, "Screw it, we'll we'll give this guy a job," and so now I've been working at Trader Joe's ever since then.
Nice, nice. Wow. So working kind of like for Facebook, or I guess the donations. So I'm sure it was kind of easy, or at least easier, or you had an understanding, I guess, of like how a grocery store works. I mean, you have like a little bit of like the donation because we have that aspect
Hmm.
incorporated. So I'm sure that was like a easier transition.
It was definitely a because I applied to Trader Joe's before I worked with Facebook, and the only other thing under my belt was like for an actual job was just Jamba Juice for 3 months as a little summer gig. So that's not
Jamba
too.
Juice, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. Wait, so um question for Jamba Juice. I
Ah.
don't know if you still like or if it's like still ingrained or like any anyway, for Jamba Juice, like I know there's a lot of beverages on the menu. And it's kind of like yeah, I guess I would would you be like a barista or are those like two different things?
I feel like, hmm, because I don't know. Whenever I think of barista, I always think of like coffee,
Yeah.
but then I'm kind of thinking maybe okay, that's just kind of what you call someone who specializes in making beverages. But I felt like we had a certain name for the people, on the registers making the smoothies and handing them off. I thought we had a special name, but it's not coming to me right now.
The smoothie expert.
It was that was such a silly job because I was still in high school,
Mm.
and we had a whole bunch of other people. Like it was a bunch of our friends were all applied there, and we all got hired. So and even like some of our managers, like I don't know if you remember like Jenna Hazard from high school
Yeah.
and like Haley Koga, like at a certain point they were like above us. So like we were able to like slack off even more because they were
Mm.
chill with a whole bunch of, tomfoolery and whatnot. Um, but it wasn't a really fun job. It was really I don't even know how to explain it. Just a weird little
It,
job.
it's just an odd job, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So got like quite a bit of work experience. I mean, coming out of high school, right? Because what, three jobs?
Yeah.
Jamba Juice, the good roots,
Yeah.
good roots, and
Yeah.
then Trader Joe's. So getting that job experience, which is
Yeah.
actually really, really important, I think. At least I feel like it, after coming out of college, people look for experience nowadays.
Yeah. And I feel like, dealing with people a lot, but all three of those jobs, you kind of had to deal with people. I feel like just naturally, I'm very good with talking to people. Like obviously at Trader Joe's, like if I'm just bagging your groceries, like I'm not gonna be super charismatic and spark up a conversation and whatnot. But like if someone comes with me like, oh, like this happened to me and I'm all pissed off, like I'm not gonna make the situation worse, you know? Like I know how to handle those kind of situations. I just feel like
Mm,
just naturally, you know?
so like the kind of customer experience,
Yeah.
being able to defuse situations and all that.
Yeah, just trying to solve their problem as fast as possible. Don't try to blame them. Kind of be like, yeah, dude, like I'm so sorry for this, and just seem like you care. Because sometimes I feel like people just want to complain.
Mm, wow. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I mean, working full time, have you ever had like free time in at all like after work? What would you usually do, you know?
Uh, m- Recently, since I work 3 to 10, my whole like sleep schedule gets kind of messed up. So like I normally wake up around 12-ish, sometimes a little bit earlier if I have to.
Hmm.
Let's just say like on average around 12. You know, get out of bed or stay on my phone for like an hour, then get out of bed, take a shower, get some food, do all that fun stuff, and then go to work. But then once I come home, I feel like I haven't done anything, like any of like my personal fun relaxation time, because I
Yeah.
do need that time. Um, but I mean, most of the time, I like to just either just play video games like everyone else does, mess around on my phone. Just TikTok is just way too. It really sucks you in with the algorithm. Like I with my ADHD brain, like it was made for me. It's like a drug. But I've also recently been getting into like collecting records and just like listening to records. That's like kind of like my most recent hobby I kind of have.
Nice, nice. Like, my thinking is so. I mean, I don't have a lot of knowledge about it, so you're gonna have to correct me. So is like a vinyl like the kind of like a record, or is that
Yeah,
like okay? And is it are you getting like recent songs that are coming out, or like more like throwback kind of like nostalgia, those kind of songs back
it's
in the
kind of
past?
it's kind of a mix of everything. Just as like normally what I do, either whether I buy my records online or I go into store, I just kind of look at my Spotify and be like, what am I listening to right now? Like what is currently catching my attention, and then I just try to find them for
Mm,
decent price. But my God, some of these they records is a very very expensive
really?
hobby. Yeah.
How much is how much or like what's the cheapest one you've got, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, I would say like the cheapest record you could get brand new would probably be somewhere around 15 to $20.
Mm. And it's just one, right? It's not like an album or anything, right?
Well, no, it would be like the whole album,
Oh, okay.
whether it'd be on like one record or split up into two or three. But normally, if it's more than one, it's definitely going to be more than like $20.
Wow. Wow. And I'm trying to think of like, I know there's one by close to Trader Joe's,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't, do you go over there, or do you go like SF, or like, is there like a spot you've gone to?
Normally, this is kind of like the tradition I do whenever I get my paycheck is I go to the store on 25th. I forget the name. It's just like the record shop
25th.
there.
Is it is it like kind of close to the event center?
Yeah, yeah. You just keep going up, and once you kind of go past all those like stores and restaurants
Yes,
and
I think I do know which one you're talking about. I've
yeah,
seen that one.
there's some cool stuff in there. Just music wise, just atmosphere. They also have like a bunch of movies and just like little things. Like
Mm,
I remember randomly I walked in there and um they had I'm gonna try to explain this. They had a copy of Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo, and it was
mm.
in its original box.
Okay.
So like this is a video game from like '93, right? And
Yeah.
did you have a Game Boy when you were younger?
I think I had the Game Boy Advanced. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
is there two different Game Boys?
Well, there used to be like a Game Boy and then like a Game Boy Color because the first one was like black and white, and then the Game Boy
Mm,
Advance was after that. But the when you
yeah.
used to buy a game, it would come in like a cardboard box that you would just throw away. And so most
Mm,
people don't have the boxes anymore because I mean, if it's something in cardboard, most people don't want to keep it.
yeah.
So it was the same thing with like the Donkey Kong Country. So and it was in its box and it's for like $20, and I'm like normally these go for like 40, 50 to $100, and the
Wow.
game worked and everything, and I was just like I gave it to my mom as a Christmas gift because she used to love that game as a teenager.
Hey, wow. That's a rare find right there.
Yeah, but they have other cool, interesting stuff there. Um, I hate driving in the city, so
Yeah,
in
it's definitely something there.
it's too much. It's too stressful. And I find San Jose to be a lot easier to kind of get to, even
Yeah.
though they're about the same distance away from us. But and there's what, three record stores down there that I like to go to. I don't remember the
Wow.
exact names, but they all have like a huge selection of just anything you can think of, and everyone there is super nice. So
Wow. Hey, that's
yeah,
good. It's have you so when you're getting a record or when you're getting a vinyl, do you have a record player, right?
yeah.
And if for okay, I'm trying to think. So you just need the record player and then the vinyl, right? Like there's no additional like accessories or like no other pieces you need in order to listen to the music?
You can get like a certain kind of turntable that just you just put the record on it, you drop the needle and the sound comes out of it and it's all built in. But
Mhm.
most of those, I think all of those aren't good for like the record itself because like I don't know the exact why. I just hear from everyone like don't buy the all-in-one. You kind of have to buy the parts separately. So normally it's like four parts, which is like the turntable, then the preamp, which I don't even know what that is. I just know it's a
Mhm.
thing. And then a receiver and then speakers. And
Wow.
once you plug all those guys in and get it all set up, then you know it, that's how the sound, I don't know, gets produced. I don't know the exact word.
Okay. Huh. And you don't have I guess you can constantly have it on replay, right? Or do you have to like do you have to take it out and then like put it on again to like hear the same song?
You don't. So like a record has two sides,
Hmm.
and it let's just say on a normal album, and it's pressed on like one record, it would play half the album on one side and half the album on the other side. You are able to like pick up the needle and drop it in a very specific spot to find the exact song so you don't have to go from start to finish every time.
Hmm.
But but once that first side is done, then you'd have to, take the needle off, stop the platter from moving, then pick it up, rotate it gently, and then do the exact same you want to do it all over again. Drop the needle, all that stuff.
Wow. Huh.
It's a whole process just to listen to music, but it makes you appreciate music more, at least in my opinion, because whenever I listen to music, like in the car, like on my phone, I'm constantly just like swapping to different songs, just skipping it whenever I want to, and just not
Hmm.
really appreciating what I'm listening to. But once you like, it's such a I can't even think of the word. It's like it's all made up in my head. Like this, it's just it feels like such a like performance. You
Mm.
do this little task and then you hear the the music and it sounds beautiful and I just at least for me it makes me like appreciate the music I listen to more and actually listen to the entire album and kind of be like, okay, well I'm not just choosing these songs I like. I listen to the whole thing as like one piece. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying. It makes it more memorable and just I guess it makes the experience different because
Yeah.
like, it's something different and I don't know. I think I know what you mean. I'm sure everyone else knows.
Yeah, I hope.
I'm pretty sure because it's like you would like to go to let's say like arcades for example like
Hmm.
back in the day people would go to pinball machines but now like you can play pinball machines online but it's like not the same experience you're
Yeah.
it's like yeah I think it's kind of like that kind of analogy it's like kind of going back to the classics and like kind of seeing where it all started.
Yeah. I definitely do like that example because I wouldn't been able to think of something like that, but like that like does perfectly sum it up. Like it's just not the same, you know?
Yeah. it makes the experience fun. It's like sometimes it even gives like people nostalgia. Like they're like, ah, I remember this growing up as a kid, or like,
Exactly.
kind of like it just triggers like a core memory or part of your childhood. So that kind of stuff. Yeah, cool. Any other like hobbies, I guess, like that you've also been doing? Like, 'cause I know what the pandemic was like 2 years. So
Hmm.
I'm kind of curious like what you've been doing during that time. And I know it's kind of like been a little while now that things have kind of opened up and restrictions and not kind of in a pandemic.
Yeah. I personally felt like I didn't get any new hobby. I didn't like start any new hobbies, and I feel like during that those 2 years, I wasn't really as passionate with anything. I feel like because I'm like really into like music just in general. Like
Hmm.
I play a few instruments like the guitar and the bass and like
Wow.
ukulele because they're all it's all strings. It's all the same stuff. You know, you learn one, you can learn it all.
Hmm.
But I just remember specifically like during that time, like I wasn't really playing my guitar. I wasn't trying to learn anything new. Um, just because that was just such a weird time. You know, like if I could have that like let's just say like that full year, like that first year where it was like okay, like you stay in your house for like 95% of your time.
Yeah.
I would do it all over again and be way more, productive instead of just, you know, loafing around, just doing nothing.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I don't think anyone really expected it. Like,
No.
and I'm sure like I've done that too, where like I'm like, man, I wish I could like if just kind of have better use of my time, like I don't know. And I don't know. I mean, you're still like interested in those, right? You're still kind
Yeah.
of got that hobby. So like, it's all good. Like I think it's impressive that you said ukulele, guitar, and bass.
Mhm.
Wow. And like did you learn that like before high school? Like you grew up playing instruments
Uh, well, I started in middle school. I'd
middle school?
say seventh grade. Would not remember the year. Maybe like 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. Um,
Wow.
but I'm like self-taught, so when you hear I've been playing for that long, I feel like people kind of assume that I can do all this crazy stuff and just but like I really only like know like the basics, but I just learned it in my own way. Like I don't know chords or like music theory or like anything like that. I just know how to, read like I know how to read the tabs of
Hmm.
like popular songs I like. I know how to play them. It's all like muscle memory at this point, but I do kind of wish I was professionally taught because there's just so many songs and like YouTube videos of me trying to like learn specific songs. I was like, if I knew how to do this properly 10 years ago and kept up with it for 10 years, like I feel like I could do almost anything, you
Mm.
know?
Well, I mean, self-taught's pretty impressive though. Like, I think it requires a lot of like discipline and it just shows you had a lot of passion for it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's impressive, man. Like,
Thank you.
and so did you start with the guitar first? Or did you,
Yes.
okay, guitar first and
And then
then
like
transition to bass?
I kind of have my on and off periods because like there's like because I appreciate both of them. Like I'm not as big into like the ukulele, but like I do have one. If I wanted to, I could. You know what I mean? Be as passionate, but it's just there's not as many songs that are just naturally have just a ukulele in it. Mostly just like a guitar and a bass.
Hmm.
Um, but I kind of have periods where I switch off between being super into guitar and super into bass. Just I guess it kind of goes off like the music I listen to. I like at the time. So for like a few months, I would only be playing my acoustic guitar, and for a few months, I would only be playing my bass, just to try to like replicate that sound.
Wow. Wow. So for I guess what was like the hard part of like learning the guitar? Because guitars, I mean, all of them are pretty popular, but I feel like guitars, like in terms of between bass and guitar, most people would pick the guitar.
Hmm.
So like, what's like the hardest thing for like learning the guitar? Is it like trying to not hit all the strings when you're playing it?
Yeah, like learning how to, because there's certain chords that just really stretch your fingers. You like you really have to like stretch and get used to it. And when you first start, since you are rubbing your hands on this little metal wire, you're gonna get like these like little like calluses on the
Mm,
tips of your fingers, and they'll get kind of like thick and like weird looking.
really?
Um, I mean, not like too weird looking, but like if you kind of like moved your fingertips across your hand, it would kind of feel like really dry.
Uh,
And and when you don't have the calluses, it hurts to play after like 10 minutes. And you kind of like feel it.
wow. Wait, so is that why people get those guitar picks? Like, so they don't have to keep striking with their fingers?
No, it just sounds better because unless you have like long fingernails on the right side of your hand, if you're right-handed, it just sounds cleaner with a pick.
Mm,
Um, because with the left hand, that's where you move it all around the strings and whatnot, and the different chords. And um, I know there's like little grease you can put on your fingers or on the strings, or get different kinds of strings to kind of help it, but it's not necessary. Like you just need to build like the calluses, and then it will stop hurting eventually, and then you'll just get used to
wow.
it.
Wow. A lot of props to you guys for playing guitar and bass. I don't know. I've tried like plucking and it like I do it once and I'm like, oh, this kind of I don't know if I can get used to it.
It's definitely weird, like I, because the whole reason why I wanted to learn an instrument was because me and my friends wanted to start like a band.
Hmm.
Just think of like just some random rock band started in like some garage, just like something like that.
Yeah.
It never went anywhere, but yeah, I still kept up with guitar just because, it was like, oh, cool, I can play all my favorite or most of my favorite songs. And luckily, the songs I liked at the time were very simple to play. So it was just, I don't know, but I feel like honestly anyone can get into it, you know?
Yeah. So are you gonna start your band soon?
At some point, like I that's always kind of been a dream of mine to like be some sort of like rock star, just have like a band, and even if it's like a small following or a big following of people, just like making music and just having people enjoy listening to it would be such a dream of mine. Or just be out of this world. But every time I try to write like any of my like original songs, because I don't know like music theory or chord progressions, it all just kind of sounds like a mess. And I also don't have I'm not friends with too many people who like really know how to play like instruments or like musically like interested, you know?
Mm,
Like I know Brady knows how to play the piano.
yeah.
Devin says he knows how to sing. I have yet to hear him sing though. Um,
Hey, you've got a group right there.
yeah, all you really need is because you know The one example I can think of that really made me in my mind think, oh, I could literally do this all myself is Mac DeMarco. He has one song where it's three parts. It's the piano synth, like making the kind of like synthy sound, a
Mhm.
bass guitar in the background, and him singing. So,
He's doing all of it at the same time, or he's like done segments.
well, he like does the segments of it, but
Oh, okay. So he's composed it all by himself.
yeah. But you could have something that sounds beautiful with just three. I don't know if I'll count singing as an instrument, but just like two instruments and you know, like his voice.
Yeah. I mean, you can maybe do some covers as like a start, right?
Yeah.
Because then you'll get to see how they're playing it, and then you kind of copy a little bit, but change a little bit to your
hmm
style, and then kind of go from there, I guess.
That's kind of what I've been trying to do, but it's still like I haven't like I just need to sit down for like one day and just like try to make something like that.
I'm sure you've got it, right? Because I mean, you sound very passionate about music, and hey, man, I think if you put your hard work in there, put that effort, I'm sure you're gonna go somewhere.
Yeah.
Uh, and then I'm gonna be like, hey, can I get your autograph?
I'll be like, of course, man. I'll give my autograph to everyone.
Oh snap! Hey, yo, I get to say, hey, I know that guy. I met
Yeah.
him and talked to him.
You you interviewed me.
Yeah, it'll be the very first one ever.
Yeah. Before the fame.
Yeah, that's cool. So so I guess like when did the music kind of start? Like, because you said you started getting into instruments middle school
hmm
and started learning it. Was it from like family or like you saw a friend? Like what's the backstory behind like, getting started with music?
It was really just like one of my friends had a guitar, knew how to play, and then it just encouraged us just to go to like Guitar Center, buy some instruments, and then just keep learning from there. Because my family isn't musically like like music isn't like their number one thing. You know, like some families always push to play the instrument
Yeah.
or just have their certain songs that are like I don't know the exact thing I'm trying to say, but just like my family just wasn't like a very musical family, you
Hmm.
know?
They didn't like push you to like force you to learn all that
No,
stuff, right?
no.
Uh, wow. And so I guess like has your like music taste kind of changed like when you first started into when you got introduced to music?
Yeah, I would say so. I I would also like my music taste before learning how to play a guitar was like really all over the place. Because I would still listen to like just like rock and whatnot, but also just like a lot of rap and just like like R&B, just like a bunch of random songs. Like I wish I could go back on my old like iTunes account and like just show you, but just like a little mix of everything. But then when I started playing guitar, the one band we really like looked up to was like Nirvana, just because it was just a bunch of guys in Seattle just wanted to make music. They made music. Oops, they accidentally made a really popular record, and bam, they blow up. Famous rock stars. And I don't know then like at that point, that's when I really started to like listen to a whole bunch of like Nirvana, and I still think to this day like they're my like number one like favorite band. They've been my number one on like Spotify Wrapped for like 4 years,
Wow.
3 years, something like that. They just keep
Wow.
hitting number one. Can't get tired of them.
Wow. Wow, 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. iTunes, man, I feel kind of old now. I'm like thinking like, man, iTunes.
Yeah,
It's definitely changed now. It's like Spotify and what's another one? Uh,
there's the Apple Music, SoundCloud,
yeah.
Pandora, I guess, if people still use that, or Tidal.
Yeah. SoundCloud, a lot of people would make their own music and post it there.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I'm like trying to think like is there any other I guess like like Google Play Music was a thing, or I think
hmm
it still is, but hasn't like I don't know, not as popular.
There's also one on YouTube because I pay for the YouTube Premium just
Ye-
because
Uh,
not having ads is amazing. And the reason why they justify you paying like $16 a month is because, oh, you get no ads and you also get this random music player too. So they kind of you can download like YouTube songs and listen to them like as if it was just like Spotify or something like that.
mm, like is it for when you're watching videos on your phone or on the computer?
It can be both. Like when you watch a YouTube video, I mean this is kind of like more specific to me, but like I like to watch videos when I go to bed, just as like the white noise,
Yeah.
and I can like close my phone and the I sort of so like the screen's dark and whatnot, and I can still listen to like the video.
Really?
Yeah.
What? What? How, what? Like what? I'm mind blown because I'm like every time I accidentally like lock my screen, it just stops. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
You used to be able to do that back in the day, back when YouTube was built into the iPhone, but you know,
Hmm.
now you got to pay for it.
Wow. Huh. So, all right. So, suppose, okay, you're planning on making songs, right? And
hmm
interested in making a band?
At some point, yeah.
Okay. So, assuming you have all the right people, you know, for your for the band, what would be like your band name, and what kind of genre would you go?
Hmm. I for some reason I would still stick with the band name I had that we had in middle school. Like I think we had the band name before anything else, and it was The Strangers. And I don't know why we picked that name. We just liked calling each other like strange, just because like like explaining inside jokes to other people like it doesn't translate. You know what I mean? Like I bet if you told me some inside joke, I would just be like, what? Like I don't
Yeah.
get it. So to me, whenever I hear that, it just makes me laugh. It just makes me think of middle school. So like, fun times. So I'd probably still stick with that. But the genre, I don't know. Maybe it's just like I'd lump it in with like rock, um, maybe kind of like grungy, kind of like indie, like dream pop-ish, like
Hmm.
shoegaze, somewhere kind of like I, like atmospheric maybe. Like
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe something like Radiohead, where they can just make something beautiful and it just sounds all pretty, and then they'll have a song where it's like more alternative rock kind of something like that.
Cool. So I'm like I don't know a lot of the music terminology, so I'm like I'm trying to picture it and I'm like thinking like as like trying to envision it like what the music will sound like. Uh that's good. Strangers, huh? The
Yeah.
Strangers or just Strangers?
The Strangers.
The Strangers.
Yeah.
Huh. And do you like have a logo with it or is it just like just text?
I don't think so. I don't think we ever made it any sort of like logo.
What would your logo be?
Hmm. I don't. Dude, that's a good one. Because it has to be something kind of like instantly like recognized like
Yeah.
anywhere, you know. I have no idea. Maybe I'm just looking around my room trying to find something. Like I I would have no idea.
Would you want the logo to incorporate like with the title?
No. I don't think it would have to.
Hmm.
I think it can kind of just be like its own thing.
Hmm.
Like like a band symbol. Like I don't know, like Led Zeppelin and like a Zeppelin or um I'm trying to think of other like band symbols. Or, you know, like Nirvana with like the smiley face, like with the
Yeah.
X's in the eyes, like something like that, where you see the symbol and you know where it's from.
Hmm. Picturing Steven's t-shirt. The logo is just right there. No
Yeah,
strangers and the logo.
the logo will come in time, in due time.
There you go. Huh. Huh. Interesting. Well, that's a good start. I mean, you got your band name, and I'm sure you've kind of figured the genre,
Hmm.
and then now it's getting the people that you want to make up the band.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I've, it's just finding people. But honestly, uh, the only thing I would need, or because I also have like a 90s electric piano, which has like you can make like drum sounds and like synth sounds and kind of like general ambiance sounds, and
Yeah.
obviously just a regular piano. So if I learned how to use, if I was more comfortable like using that, I could honestly do it all myself. You know, I wouldn't need a band. I could just um, do it all myself. Cause I think with the way I like how I perceive guitar and music might be different than other people, and it might be hard for other people to just perceive it how I would. So it
Mm,
could just be easier if I tried it myself, but at the same time, it's like I'm thinking about like performing live. I want people there. You know, having a band just seems kind of cool.
yeah. I feel like, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you can always try. I'm sure there's some like, I mean, we've definitely evolved in technology and
Hmm.
music, so I feel like there's some programs out there where you can like compose a song and just use all the instruments that you need. Like it's already online, digital. Like if
Oh yeah,
you need a choir, you can get it. If you need um I don't know, the triangle, I don't know, drums, bass,
yeah. Majority of that
violin, all that.
stuff, you know, you could just make yourself. You honestly don't even need the instruments. I know there's a way to do it through like GarageBand or something like that, but I want it to sound more authentic rather than just a computerized bass or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can just you know, if you're on a budget, just go to Guitar Center and be like, "Yo, man, just record this while we play this song real quick." Or like
Yeah,
play like a sound a note and then just kind of take that and then just upload it.
that would be my last resort, I'd say.
I feel like it'd be like a yeah, but it'd be like a very cost efficient.
Yeah, but I know people who just like record off their phones and whatnot, and they somehow make it work. All you need is like a decent microphone, I guess, because
Yeah.
that's how Steve Lacy, uh, he made his first couple batch of songs all on his iPhone, and it, I don't know. I don't know if you've ever like heard any of his earlier music.
I don't
Um,
think I have.
but you know, there's like a bunch of like guitars, bass, drums, whatnot, different like like different like voice layerings and whatnot, where it's like he's just kind of singing normally, then like some higher notes and whatnot, all playing at the same time, and it's like you wouldn't believe it's off his iPhone, but it was off his iPhone 4 or iPhone
Really.
6, what like a few generations old of like an iPhone. It sounds great, and he's made millions off of it.
Hey,
It's,
anything's possible.
yeah,
Make that music off your phone, GarageBand. You don't need like fancy equipment nowadays.
no,
You don't need a studio. All you need is your voice and any instrument that you want.
exactly. Some people like the kind of do it yourself kind of sound rather than like the super professional.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where also you just learn a lot. Like you get a lot more experience. Like you've done the process of like actually composing the song yourself.
Hmm.
So you kind of know how to make it better, how to improve upon it, rather than like having to rely on somebody to like kind of help you make what you're trying to envision.
Hmm.
So there's some stuff to it, some pros and cons and all that.
It does, doing all that stuff yourself just seems because I would have to learn how to use like GarageBand and all that other fun stuff, and I don't know how to sing. I've been trying, but
Well,
I don't know.
hey man, you've done the voices, man. I think you can
No.
sing. I'm pretty sure you can sing. If you can do the voices, you can sing.
But I don't even think they're good voices.
I don't know. We've definitely talked about it at work, saying uh, I heard the voice and was like, yo, we gotta have this on the podcast.
Gotta have
Because
it.
I think a lot of people can agree, man. It sounds pretty similar.
I haven't done it in so long.
What?
I honestly, cause I would see you like so much more, and I don't know. Ever since like my schedule changed, like since I don't see you, I like no one else has been asking me to for my voice impressions. So,
Hey, yo, let's hear it.
all right,
Perfect timing. All right, to give some context though, right? Me and Steven went I think it was like the first day, because I was training him. I was like, we were chatting up, like, catching up just like what we've been up to. And then I think I was like mentioning like cartoon shows. Like, did you watch any of this? Because I was like, I wonder if people had the same childhood as I did, you know? And I think we were talking about like SpongeBob. And then, wait, I don't think you watched SpongeBob.
I did.
Oh, wait, who am I? I'm thinking of someone else. But anyway, SpongeBob and then like Jimmy Neutron and then Fairy Odd Parents. And then I think I was like mentioning like some episodes, and then I think you just did like the voice of it, and I was like, yo, what? And then just yo, let me hear that Carl Weezer.
All right. Jimmy's mom, are you gonna finish that croissant?
Get a little closer to the microphone. That's pretty good.
I'm gonna go now. Jimmy's mom.
Yo, hey, that's pretty good, man. And I think oh, well, there was another one. I think
Oh God.
did you do a Miss Fowl, or am I thinking? Yeah, yeah, Miss Fowl, because like it was like Carl or something like that.
Didn't she sound like the bird
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like a bird?
Quack!
Ah! Jit, jit. No, I can't because it just goes off.
Try it.
Okay. Ah, Jimmy! I can't. I don't even know what you'd say. Ah, Sheen.
Hey, yeah, that's getting pretty close. It's like a what's it, raspy voice, or like a high pitched voice?
It's like raspy but high pitched. It's definitely not an appealing sound at all. That
Ah, ah.
I do like watch that show again because like I can hear it in my head, but I can't think of it, you know?
Ah, Carl. Carl.
Carl.
Yeah, yeah, it's like that. I think you're thinking of like when she gets higher pitched.
Yeah, we,
That's when she like says a character's name.
I'm also getting like the same voice. For some reason in my head, I'm like associating her voice with the teacher from Fairly Odd Parents.
The
Or
teacher.
is
Oh, Crocker.
yeah. Fairly
Uh,
Odd Parents.
Crocker.
Like I don't know why I'm associating like in my brain they share like the same space. I don't know
No,
why.
really? I feel like Miss Fowl and Marge Simpson are like pretty similar.
Was it the no? You liked my Marge Simpson voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Homie.
Yeah, can you say anything else as well?
That's the only like because it's just the way she says homie. That's like anything else just wouldn't sound right.
Uh, hey, can you do another? Can you do any other voice impressions?
Oh my.
Like Peter Griffin. I remember you did Peter Griffin.
I was just about to say, I've been really wanting to do fucking Peter Griffin because it makes me laugh so much.
Hey, can we hear the Peter Griffin impression?
I'm gonna try. I'm still. This is all like in its prototype stage. Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. This is perfect practice.
Eh, freaking sweet. Hey, hey, Lois. That's all I got.
uh, uh,
Shut up, Meg.
uh,
Eh.
any other voice impressions?
Oh
Uh,
man. Um.
what about Bart? Bart Simpson?
All I can think of is like cowabunga. Like no, no. Don't have a cow, man. Like it's not even. I'm just saying it in a different pitch. I want to learn how to do impressions. I find people who can do like 100+ character impressions, that's so impressive. You know?
I
Like
think you can do that. Look, if you can do like the very beginning of like Marge Simpson, Carl Weezer, I'm sure you can do it. I think you got to start doing like phrases. I think that's the next step because those are pretty spot on.
I need to start practicing.
Yeah, the Carl Weezer one in particular, and Marge because that was great.
Those ones I don't know why. It's just it's so easy to like those just come to me.
I think Carl Weezer one because like you've done two voice lines from Carl, and that's a start right there.
Yeah.
You did croissant and what was the other one? Miss Fowl. You can do
Yeah.
Jimmy. You can say Jimmy's name in Carl Weezer voice.
Jimmy. No.
Yeah, yeah, you can do that.
Jimmy. No. Alright. Now I'm getting the voices confused. They're all very messed up.
Okay, okay.
So it's like
Just
a mixture.
so think about Carl Weezer saying like the croissant thing.
Jimmy, I I don't feel no.
Are you
I don't
gonna
feel
finish
so
that?
good.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And then the next one is, are you gonna finish that croissant?
Are you gonna finish that croissant?
And then uh I'm trying to think of like other phrases. Uh what other lines does he say?
I only know there's okay, obviously Jimmy's mom. I don't know why I was like, uh, Or it's like, do you like the picture I drew? It's a frog. If I practice, that's all I need. I will be so good at everything if I just practice.
Hey, yeah, you've definitely got those talents right there. Like you've definitely got that. I think you can. I think if you can do the voice impressions, I'm like pretty certain you can do like voices for like your songs too.
Yeah.
Like I think those two kind of like pair pretty well together because it's like you're getting different tones,
Yeah. Different pitches and what's the word? Inflections? Like,
something like that.
yeah.
There you go. See, like that you gotta start somewhere, and I love this. This will be like a timestamp, kind of showing like where we started, or like it'll show like where you started,
Yeah.
the impressions and the songwriting, or at least like composition. Is there any like characters that you want to do an impression on, or like plan on working that you just haven't told me?
Uh I mean, I already told you, but I really want to get a Peter Griffin impression like down.
Hmm.
Um maybe some like Overwatch characters, I would say. Like,
Overwatch, like like uh like Soldier 76.
yeah, yeah. Just I'm trying to think of like voice lines that he says. Is like, I don't even think I could start.
I've got you in my sight, or something like that.
Or like Winston, you know,
But you should do McCree. I think you can do McCree.
dude.
Oh wait, no.
No, he has
You
such
can
a
you can do uh I think I mean you said Winston. Winston's a good one. I'm trying to think like Reinhardt? Maybe Reinhardt?
uh honor, justice, Reinhardt, Reinhardt, Reinhardt. That's something he says. Hammer down.
Oh,
It's
uh
it's a start. We got to start
yeah.
small.
Yeah. I gave you props, man, because like, you
Thank you.
know, it's it's uh, what's that word? A lot of people get shy, so like it's good to like slowly start somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
This is helping you so that when you do your performances, it'll be less stressful because you're like, ah, I've already done voice impressions,
Yeah.
I've already sang, like there you go.
I'm not nervous about it. I'm just doing it.
Like it'll come natural.
Yeah. That's what I always hear is this like especially when you start singing and like making music, and we even lump impressions into there because I think it makes sense, is that you are like the first thing you ever make isn't going to be good. You have to keep practicing it and like keep perfecting it and making it better and just getting better. Like you're not going to be good at singing unless you are comfortable with your voice, you know,
Yeah.
comfortable in like what you play. So it all just
Yeah.
comes with like repetition, practice, and just being comfortable.
Yeah. I think it's just to add on to that, you brought up a really good point. I think another thing is also just having no fear, I guess, of like not being afraid of like what people are gonna think of it, you know?
Yeah,
Like for example, like this podcast, like my first episode wasn't even good. Like I thought it was gonna be amazing. It's like, it's definitely if I didn't post that first episode, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
yeah,
Like, gotta start somewhere. And like, first episode, man, I didn't even know what to talk about. We had to like we had to think of like a concept like the day before, or like we had to prep something. And then now it's like, okay, I got used to it talking to people, and I can like do on the spot like conversations, like,
Yeah.
what happens if there's like a silence, like that's the biggest fear for like a video or podcast, it's like you don't want all this like silence. You want to try to fill it up as much as possible.
Hmm. Because like no one wants to listen to just like 30 seconds of just like nothing,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta start somewhere, and not being afraid of like, because if you're passionate about it, you're not gonna worry about what people are gonna think about it.
no. Not at all, because again, you're passionate about it. Like that's your thing,
Mhm.
you know? You have no reason to be nervous or shy about it.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this music.
It's gonna take some time. It like the I feel like just there's gonna be like one moment where something just like snaps and I'll be able like it like my creative process will just allow me to make music and then I will just record it on my phone and just have something, something to show like, okay, this is the start, this is just the instrumental, then maybe I'll add the vocals or lyrics or something like that.
Mhm.
Um and actually make it more of a song. Maybe just put it on SoundCloud, something small, just so
Yeah,
like me
yeah.
and my friends can hear it. Maybe put it on like Reddit or something on like super indie, like just starting band Reddit page. I don't know. I don't know if they have something like that, but
I'm sure there is.
yeah, something where you just get yourself out there and just have people criticize you and just tell you what you did good and what you did bad and just improve on that.
Dude, for real. I think that SoundCloud one idea, I think you should do that. Like like small little snippets, or like just like a cover,
Yeah.
like kind of get the feel for it, and develop that mastery, I guess. And I think you got it. I think it's just starting is the hard part for anything. So do it, man. I know you've got it in you. I know you got it in you.
I do.
Yeah,
I just gotta keep with it, you know?
yeah, you just gotta start. Just gotta start. Start.
I would be lying to you if I said I haven't already. I have a few songs in my voice memos of just like
Oh,
random. I wouldn't say like they're songs, like they have a title and whatnot, but just me like, okay, I like this chord progression. I like the way that this sounds. I want to save it so I can replicate it later.
hmm.
And I think I have a few voice recordings from like 2019, I'd say. So, and I could definitely see how like my playing has like progressed even from then. So,
Yeah,
you know,
dude, you should do that. I mean, you could do like a whole your own version of a documentary, just like posting your stuff, and then like
yeah.
doing it every day or like every month, and then like kind of seeing it as the years go by, and then like you just gotta start, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, just don't be afraid of like what other people are gonna think about that one content. Like, yeah,
yeah. You just gotta keep making stuff.
yeah. Man, I'm excited then. I'm excited to hear some songs that are eventually gonna come out. I know they're gonna come out. You've got that creative mindset, man. I just
Hmm.
know it. And you've passionate about music, you've listened to so much music. Oh man. Now you just gotta start.
Yeah. If I ever or when I have
There you
something,
go.
I will definitely send it your way.
Yeah, hey, even better, you can play it during the podcast.
No, that might be
Y-
too much.
You know what we'll do? You know what we'll do is I'll do like a talent show, like a podcast, like for a special. Be like, all right, everyone, I brought you all here today because I know each of you have something you want to perform or bring out. It would be like a whole like advertisement. This is your chance.
Sell
Let
yourself.
yeah yeah let it be known to the public. It's like a show and tell kind of.
That'd be fun. Like having a whole bunch of people on here, each of us taking our turns, whatnot, just showing off talents and whatnot.
Yeah, like I think that's a great. You're onto something. All right, so since you gave me that idea, that means you're gonna be the first one. So no pressure or anything.
No pressure.
No pressure, no pressure.
At the very least, I'll play you a song or something, but I don't know if I want to sing just yet.
That's okay. I mean, even just like playing like without any vocals is fine.
Yeah.
It's a performance still.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Hopefully.
No, no, not hopefully. I know it. You've definitely got it.
I got it. Yeah.
You just can't be afraid of like, you can't let that fear get you, man.
Yeah, but sometimes, it's just being nervous, about like I get like performance anxiety whenever I play guitar. When I'm by myself, I feel like I'm comfortable enough, obviously,
Yeah,
with playing with that, like playing whatever. But sometimes when I'm like around people and it feels like I have to, like I like and like they're like I'm giving them like a performance, right? I get nervous and I start like messing up and I'm like, oop, nope, gotta restart, play it again. I'm just like I hear myself messing up because I'm so nervous and I'm just like, ugh, I gotta get over this, you know?
yeah. I mean, you can do like little progressions, like perform for like your family, and then
Yeah,
like perform for a small group, and then kind of like eventually get to that. It's not going to be like 0 to 100, you know? Like,
yeah.
I mean that'll definitely be scary. I can only imagine.
That's definitely need to start with the baby steps first, slowly
Yeah,
work our way there.
yeah, yeah. You're gonna be fine, man. Just you don't worry about the audience. Just play how you normally play. I know a lot of people say that it's pretty cheesy, but it's like as long as you just focus on you doing it yourself.
Yeah,
Don't worry
just
about what people are gonna think.
just pretend they don't exist, yet but yet show them my art.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, it's been wow. I mean, that's like kind of all the questions I've got. I'm just like, wow. I feel like it was just a lot
Yeah.
in a good way. Like, I feel like I just learned a lot about you.
Well, that's the whole point,
Yeah,
It's point of this podcast so that you and your audience just gets to know a little, like a little bit about me, and
yeah,
it's fun.
yeah.
I'm the,
Just
I like answering questions. It's so fun. It's easy.
it's easy.
Yeah,
All right, then that means I'm gonna have you for more episodes then.
I'm down. You just have to let me know. We'll schedule a time, and you know, just
We'll
let me
work it
know.
out.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, that's all the questions I got. Anything you'd like to add or
Um.
any final thoughts or
Hmm. Actually, I have a question about this podcast.
sure.
I think I already asked you this, but when did you first start this podcast?
Good question. I started the podcast 2020.
Okay.
So as soon as the pandemic hit, it's like a couple months into it. I was like, you know what? I got all this free time. I've always thought about making something like this or making a
Hmm.
podcast. I was like, okay, how am I gonna do it? And process was actually interesting. Before using Anchor, I was thinking, all right, I'm gonna make a podcast. And I'm like, how do I do that? I'm like, maybe I'll do like a live stream on Twitch. Maybe I can do that.
Hmm.
Like, and then I was like, I don't, but then I want the content to be saved for later. So I'm like, what are we gonna do? I like had to do a little bit of research to figure out what am I gonna do? How am I gonna distribute it. So it was a process, but I still tried it. So
Because like the idea of a podcast always like I just enjoy like because I mean I don't listen to many podcasts, but like obviously like the number one like the Joe Rogan experience.
mhm,
I like just seeing like the random clips on YouTube about just two people just learning about something or someone just talking about themselves or just experiences and it's just I don't know, it just seems so like genuine and um just like fun, you know?
yeah,
Just talking about random stuff and just getting to know people.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's definitely a great way to like get to know someone, and like I feel like even even if you like kind of known the person, you still learn something new about them. Like they'll just because I feel like that's sometimes when you just have like a story that just randomly pops up, or
yeah,
like one person says something and then like it kind of unlocks like a core memory, or like I don't know, add to the discussion.
there's always something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that is that the
I
only
think
thing?
so, yeah. Unless you have any final questions or anything.
No, man. I'm actually like I was actually pretty happy to finally be able to have this podcast with you because I know we've definitely talked a lot about it during work.
Yes.
We're like, all right, we're gonna get this episode. And then I'm like, all right, I just forgot about it or like just been busy. So it's like, okay, now we could finally do it.
Yeah.
And now I can finally say I got Steven on the podcast and I've heard his impressions again. And
Yes.
finally the people can agree with me.
Yes. I have spoken.
Yeah. And now it'll be like an inside joke.
Yeah. An inside joke I will understand. You know,
Yeah.
I will be a part of.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Steven, for being a part of the LTA show. You're actually the very first guest for 2023. So
Wow.
thank you. Thank you for being a part of this.
No, thank you for having me, Felix. This is fun.
Any final thoughts? Any final things you'd like to say? Any shout outs, I guess, or
Um, Shout out to everyone at Trader Joe's. Majority of the crew. You guys are great. Even the mates. I feel like the mates we have in rotation right now are pretty cool. I respect everyone, and yeah, shout out to class of 2018, Hillsdale High School. Let's go Knights, huh?
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry. When you
For
said
what?
shout outs, nah, I'm just being stupid.
No, no, they're good shout outs.
Yeah,
Alrighty, well, thank you everyone for listening or watching this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. And hopefully, Steven will come back to the show again.
I
So,
definitely will.
alrighty, thank you, and we will see you in the next one. See ya.
Bye.